This ice bath is 4 degrees Celsius or 40 degrees Fahrenheit. I spend approximately 15 minutes 3 days per week in this thing. In this video, I will show you all of the benefits of cold exposure and give you a full cold exposure plan so you can get all of the benefits of the cold exposure while spending the least time possible cold. So first of all, let's discuss the mental benefits of cold exposure. So cold exposure can cause up to a 250% increase in dopamine. And this isn't something that's just a few minutes. This will last you hours. The next thing is it'll improve your mood. This is both from the norepinephrine release and also the dopamine release. And the third mental benefit is that it improves your focus and mental alertness. So if you're just starting out the day, if you get some cold exposure, you're going to be feeling really locked in to start the day. All right, what are the physical benefits of cold exposure? First of all, improved metabolism and fat loss. Cold exposure increases brown fat activation, which helps increasing your metabolism and making you actually burn fat quicker, which is a very nice thing to have. The next thing is that it reduces your muscle soreness. So after you have big days working out, an ice bath, bit of cold exposure can be really good at reducing that overall muscle soreness. The third thing is improved blood circulation. So when you get really cold, your blood vessels start to contract. This is vasoconstriction. And then when you get out of the cold, when you start heating up, they're going to dilate. So vasodilation. And this is going to improve your overall blood flow. The next thing is an improved immune system. When you get cold, this cold exposure is going to increase your white blood cell count, and white blood cells are going to attack infections. They're going to attack bacteria, any incoming diseases. So it's really good for improving your immune system. The next one, which is really great, is it's going to reduce your systematic inflammation. A lot of people have inflammation related diseases and issues. Reducing your inflammation is going to be a great thing to do, and it can be done through cold exposure. The next one, and I'm sure a lot of people like this, is increased testosterone and growth hormone release. Because you're putting your body under stress and it's adapting to stress, it's going to increase your release of growth hormone and increase your release of testosterone, making you feel better, perform better in the gym, recover better. Overall, a really nice thing to have. And the last one, although I would actually say this is more of a mental benefit, but this improves your mental resilience significantly. There's very few things that you can actually do that are going to put your body in such a state of discomfort in such a short period of time. I mean, I've only been in here for about 5 minutes and I'm already feeling quite challenged mentally. And putting yourself in these situations regularly is going to help you build resilience. It's going to help you build that discipline, that willpower, which is obviously going to be a great thing to have. Real quick, if you are an entrepreneur and you would like help reaching peak mental and physical performance so you can grow yourself and your business, then I'll leave a link in the description below for you to check out. So this is the cold exposure plan. This is the plan that I would recommend you do to get a lot of the benefits out of cold exposure without spending as much time in the ice bath as I do. Because to be honest, a lot of the reason I spend so much time in the cold is really just to build up the mental resilience and willpower. But if you're just trying to get a lot of the other benefits and not really worry about resilience or willpower, you can get a huge amount of these benefits while spending a significant amount less time than I do. First of all, do you actually need an ice bath? Well, no, you don't need an ice bath. Really, to get about 90% of the benefits from cold exposure, you just need to be uncomfortably cold for about 11 minutes per week, preferably over a few different sessions. So an ice bath is of course going to be a good way to get uncomfortably cold, but if you just walk outside in a shorts and t-shirt in really cold weather, that'll probably get you uncomfortably cold. If you do a cold shower, that'll also probably get you uncomfortably cold. There's lots of ways that you can get uncomfortably cold, but it doesn't have to come from an ice bath. That being said, if you do want an ice bath and you feel like you can't afford one, I made a whole video on how I made this ice bath for under $200. So if you want to check that out, I'll leave a little card up here. What is the ideal temperature of an ice bath? This is sort of going to depend on what is uncomfortably cold for you. As I said, that is going to be the most important thing, being uncomfortably cold. But for most people, between 10 and 15 degrees Celsius, so that's about 50 to 60 degrees Fahrenheit, that's going to be a good place to start. For more advanced people, you can go for something like 4 to 8 degrees Celsius, which is about 40 to 45 degrees Fahrenheit. Just be uncomfortably cold. So how much time should you be spending getting uncomfortably cold every week? What I would recommend is doing at least 11 minutes. Preferably do 2 to 4 sessions between 2 and 5 minutes long. This will get you 11 minutes. This will get you the majority of your mental benefits. It'll get you the majority of your health benefits, your physical benefits. probably a good place to start. Just get a minimum of 11 minutes per week. Now, if you don't have an ice bath, if you're not living in Antarctica, then the best way for you to get these 11 minutes in is just doing a cold shower. In the morning, either you can just do a cold shower for the whole thing, or just spend the last 2 minutes of your shower, just turn it to cold. It makes you feel really damn good afterwards, and you're going to pretty easily rack up your minutes to get to that 11 minutes per week of cold exposure. What are a few of the mistakes that you should avoid with the cold exposure? First of all, if you're doing some sort of weightlifting exercise, like going to the gym, trying to build some muscle, build some strength, don't do ice baths, don't do cold showers, don't do any form of cold exposure straight after this. The reason for that is that cold exposure will reduce your inflammation, but inflammation is actually required for building muscle and any sort of strength adaptations you get from the gym. So yes, it's good for your recovery and muscle soreness, but not actually a good thing to do straight after a workout. Next thing is reheating immediately. I know there's that temptation to just jump in the shower or jump in the sauna, but give yourself about 15 to 30 minutes after cold exposure before trying to actually heat yourself up. The reason for that is if you give yourself that 15 to 30 minutes, it's going to activate more of the brown fat, and it's going to actually promote thermal regulation. Your body actually getting itself back down to regular temperature, I guess back up to regular temperature. But if you just jump in a shower, then your body doesn't have to do anything. It's just automatically heated up. So let your body actually get out of this state of cold, because you're going to get that brown fat activation and the thermal regulation. Next mistake to avoid is hyperventilating or panicking. Like, realistically, a lot of the ice bath game is just all mental. Like, when you get in here, there's no reason for you to panic or hyperventilate. Your body is in a bit of shock because it's really cold and uncomfortable, but you don't need to hyperventilate or panic out. Just relax, focus on your breath, calm down, and this is a lot easier than when you're just stressed out, freaking out, shivering. Like, you don't need to do it, so be calm when you're in cold exposure, particularly in an ice bath. Don't hyperventilate, don't panic, just relax. Next mistake to avoid is doing this right before bed. If you're doing this too close to bed, it's going to boost your adrenaline, it's going to boost your dopamine, it's going to make you feel really alert and awake. Not really what you're going to want right before bed. Preferably you do this in the morning, so when you get that adrenaline, that dopamine, it's going to actually push you forward to having a great day. But don't do this too close to bed. The last mistake is people just go out the gates way too hard. We really want to be doing this for the long haul. The big benefits come from doing this consistently over a long period of time. So if you do something crazy like what I'm doing right now, being in an ice bath at 4 degrees for 15 minutes, and you do that right out the gate, you're not going to want to keep doing this. You're probably going to quit, and you're not going to get any of the benefits. So slowly introduce this. Just get your 11 minutes per week. You can slowly ramp that up. You can slowly get the temperature down if you want, but just make sure you're consistent with this, because consistency is key. It's not about going out the gates quickly and being the best at it straight away. Just ease your way into it, get the exposure, be consistent with it. That's where the gains are made. So that was the end of this video. No, I didn't one take this video, so I have been in this ice bath for a very damn long time, and I'm very, very cold. But I hope you enjoyed. I hope my suffering was worth it. If you liked this video, if you got some value out of it, please like and subscribe. There's probably a video somewhere around here that you might be interested in, so I will see you there.